Looking for a modern-day Cinderella story set in the world of K-pop, where the company plays the evil stepmother, fellow members unknowingly act as stepsisters, and one prince saves the overlooked damsel with a duet that crosses over 1 billion views? Well, stop searching because Rosé just rewrote her own fairy tale. Once seen as the least interesting member of Blackpink, she's now the #1 girl, not just in K-pop but across the entire global stage. First, let's get into how YG Entertainment, yes, our very own evil stepmother, ended up delaying Rosé's success for years. When Rosé first joined YG Entertainment as a trainee at 15 years old, she left behind her comfortable life in Australia to pursue a dream she never fully expected to come true. Winning first place out of 700 participants to the YG audition, she was immediately signed and flown to South Korea, where she would train for 4 years before debuting as the final member of Blackpink. But those 4 years were far from glamorous. YG Entertainment is notorious for its harsh and secretive trainee system where only the strongest survive, and Rosé's delicate, introverted nature made her stand out, but not necessarily in a way that the company seemed to value. Despite being an undeniable vocal powerhouse, Rosé was often overshadowed during her trainee days by louder personalities and, more conveniently, marketable visuals. When Jennie was positioned as the face of the group from the very beginning and Lisa's dance skills made her an instant standout, Rosé's strengths were quietly tucked away. Even when Blackpink debuted, YG's marketing machine focused on Jennie's luxury fashion image, Lisa's dancing, and Jisoo's visuals. Rosé's vocal were simply treated as one layer of the group's sound rather than her own defining trait. So much so that despite her talent, YG kept Rosé's solo debut locked away like a secret. While Jennie was the first member to debut solo just 2 years after Blackpink's debut, Rosé's turn didn't come until 2021, 5 years later. In K-pop years, that's practically an eternity, and the delay wasn't because Rosé wasn't ready. She was writing music, playing instruments, and quietly preparing in the background. But YG's infamous selective promotion strategy made her wait and wait and wait some more. During those years, Rosé's image was boxed in, sweet, talented, but always just part of the Blackpink package, never the star. Meanwhile, Jennie's solo debut cemented her image as the cool it girl, and Lisa's dance skill made her a viral sensation. Even Jisoo's visuals and acting career carved out her own niche. But Rosé, she was the girl with the guitar, the voice in the background, the member everyone liked but no one obsessed over. But what YG didn't realize was that while they were sleeping on Rosé, she was quietly crafting something far more powerful, her own brand. And that was her fairy godmother moment. Instead of fighting to fit into the Blackpink formula, Rosé leaned into what made her different. She embraced her softness, her introspective nature, and her love for music. Rather than forcing herself to be louder or edgier, she made her quiet energy her selling point. Her Instagram wasn't overflowing with selfies or trendy dance challenges. It was carefully curated, with dreamy black and white shots, vintage filters, and candid moments that gave fans glimpses into her private world without ever giving too much away, just like Cinderella and her little animal friends. Even her solo debut, On the Ground, wasn't a flashy dance anthem. It was a stripped-down, emotional ballet that showcased her raw vocals and songwriting, and it worked. The song became the fastest music video by a K-pop female soloist to hit 100 million views on YouTube. Rosé wasn't trying to be the hottest girl in the room, she became the coolest girl in the room. The one you couldn't quite figure out. The one who didn't need to shout to hold your attention. Her decision to perform with a guitar on stage wasn't just a nod to her childhood, but a calculated branding move, one that set her apart from every other K-pop idol and aligned her with Western singer-songwriters like Taylor Swift and Lana Del Rey. While other idols flooded social media, Rosé kept her presence selective and exclusive, just like a luxury brand. The less she posted, the more valuable each post became, and that's exactly what brands like Yves Saint Laurent and Tiffany & Co. sign her. When Rosé became the first K-pop idol to front a Saint Laurent global campaign, it wasn't just a fashion deal, it was a signal. Rosé wasn't just a K-pop idol anymore, she was quietly climbing her way into the world of high fashion and global luxury. And then Cinderella went to the ball and met her prince, aka Bruno Mars. Now, if there is one move that officially crowned Rosé as the #1 girl, it's her collaboration with Bruno Mars on Appetite. At first glance, the pairing seemed unexpected. Rosé's delicate voice alongside Bruno's signature soulful sound, that's exactly what made it genius. The collaboration merged two completely different fan bases, Western pop and K-pop, into one. The pre-chorus alone had the internet in a chokehold, and within weeks, the song shot to #1 in over 25 countries, even behind the scenes. The way this collaboration came together shows just how effortlessly Rosé has been playing the long game. In an interview, Bruno Mars revealed that he didn't even know what apathy meant when Rosé suggested it, but he trusted her vision enough to jump on board. That's the kind of quiet influence Rosé has built, where even music legends are following her lead. By the time Apathy crossed over 1 billion views, Rosé's transformation was complete. The shy girl in the background had officially become the #1 girl, and she did it without ever trying to be anyone but herself. And if you're wondering how she's doing compared to her fellow Blackpink members, well, the numbers speaks for themselves. While Jennie's solo projects leaned on hype and Lisa's viral dance videos dominated social media, neither of them has cracked the billion-view milestone on YouTube. Rosé's collaborations, luxury campaigns, and selective brand partnerships have quietly outpaced them all without the need for constant viral moments or controversy. In fact, Rosé has done something even rarer. She's managed to break out of the K-pop bubble without leaving K-pop behind. Instead of chasing Western validation like so many idols before her, she's made Western artists chase her. And with every move, she's inching closer to something that only a handful of K-pop idols have ever achieved: true global pop star status. Looking at you, Jungkook. But Apathy was just the glass slipper. The real fairy tale is Rosé, Rosé's solo album. Over 12 tracks, Rosé took her listeners through the emotional highs and lows of her 20s. From late-night heartbreak anthems to confessional ballets, the album was as intimate as flipping through the pages of her diary. The emotional core of the album lay in ballades like Stay a Little Longer and 2 Years, where Rosé's delicate vocals shone. But of course, Apathy reigned supreme. The whole album was a perfect blend of heartbreak and carefree fun. That Rosé's Cinderella story isn't just about suffering quietly, it's about writing her own happily ever after. Or maybe Rosé's happily ever after has something to do with the toxic till the end Tiffany Rings lyric that went viral. Because, speaking of Tiffany Rings, the rumor mill is up and running again. Remember how fans have been speculating for years about rumors of her and actress Bae Suji dating? Yep. Those resurfaced once again after Suji's latest music video appeared to feature a matching Tiffany ring, the same one Rosé always wears on her 4th finger. And if the latest rumors are anything to go by, maybe there's still another plot twist waiting to happen in Rosé's story. What do you think is next for Rosé?